Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here at the Inmark Arena in Savannah, Georgia for the Allstate Southeastern Conference Volleyball Tournament. We're joined now by Texas A&M Aggies head coach Jamie Morrison, along with athletes Afena Akasapala and Maddie Walk. Coach Morrison will begin with an opening statement. After that, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. Coach?
Yeah, I'm proud of my team for an opening win in this, and I think Honors has done a really good job with that program, and from the beginning, from starting it from scratch to this season and the amount that they've improved throughout it, and just hats off to him and what he's accomplished. But I talked to our team before the match, just when teams have a chance to play once, and in their case twice, they're used to being out on the floor and competing in this environment. And I thought we did a really good job of staying with them the entire first set, and found a time in that where we could crack it open by a 4-point lead, and that continued to happen throughout the match. And I thought we played volleyball. I think we'll continue to get better throughout this. Played volleyball at a high level. We'll continue to get better throughout this tournament. But I think the way we competed was something that I'm going to give them props for when I get into the locker room.
All right, with that, we'll open up to questions.
Coach Morrison, nice to see y'all. Welcome to Savannah. You guys had, I want to say, 15 service errors. What was it? What was the issue from the service line tonight?
It's a different environment. I think we've had, 80 minutes to practice in here. So we talk a lot about finding our volume, and I think when I say we'll improve, I think that's going to improve. There's no doubt in my mind that throughout this tournament, we're going to find our volume and get that in. So the other piece is we're going to be an aggressive serving team. And they have, a really good team on their side of the net, and our ability to knock them off is, I think, one of the things that helped us hold them to a really low hitting efficiency. So, and set our offense up in transition to go ahead and operate. So I think that'll clean up over time, but the message was find your volume in this gym. The same thing I'm going to say every single day of find your serve. But we're never going to be passive back there, but we do need to keep a few more in.
And Maddie, you had 40 assists tonight. What did it mean to you to produce those numbers, and really what was working for you tonight?
I mean, it's awesome. Like, obviously, this team is senior heavy, and we want to push as far as we can throughout this whole postseason. But, I mean, an assist is only an assist if they get a kill, and I throw the ball up there and they get a kill. So, and they make my job easy. So, I had a great night.
Then, Afana, what was working for you tonight, and what did it mean to you to see some of the A&M friends bring the monster block tradition over all the way to Savannah?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the 12th man. I mean, they mean so much to us, and I know the team, like, just coming out to support, whether it be home games, away games, clearly, like, neutral sites, just always having them behind us, I think, helps get us going when we might be in trouble. And then, yeah, just doing what I always do, playing how we practice. I mean, we practice our connection almost every single day, so just knowing, like she said, she puts the ball up there, I just trust her, I get up, and just whatever's open, I just try and swing there.
There wasn't a single solo block tonight, and all of them were assisted. Afena, can you talk about the front row and having that, being able to have your teammates just assist you on everything and have those big numbers and blocks?
Yeah. I'd like to think of it more as me assisting them. I mean, they're the ones, like, setting the block. I just do my best to close, take away, like, any angles. I know, like, when we scout, we look at hitters' tendencies. So just remembering those in game, making sure, like, again, like, remembering the scout. Yeah, and just focusing really on eye work and hand work. I think that's just, like, the biggest part of blocking.
And for either one of y'all, what did it mean to be able to, you had that Vanderbilt scoring run at the end, to really push through that and make sure they didn't take that third set? Kind of what confidence does that give y'all going into the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, Jamie spoke earlier, like, before we even played, about playing like us. There are times we might fall out of it. So I think that was one of those times we fell out of the identity of, like, us as Texas A&M volleyball. But I think the timeout and just coming together as a huddle and just talking to each other like, hey, we don't want to take this to 4. We don't need to take this to 4. We are a capable team, and just putting the ball away. I mean, we have so many drills in practice where we, like, start at the end of the set and all we have to do is, like, get 2-3 points. So I think for situations like that, that's why we do it in practice, and we practice it really well so it translates well to games. But obviously don't want to be in those kind of scenarios.
Okay, we'll go over here.
Maddie, Emily had 8 kills tonight. What was it that you saw from her tonight that you said, yeah, I'm just going to keep going to her? Because a lot of her kills got y'all within 1 point and ended up in ties.
Yeah, I mean, Emily is an awesome attacker, but, like, it's the same as I said. Like, I throw the ball up there, and I have full confidence in them every time. Like, there's never a moment where I hesitate. I always know that she's going to play her hardest, and it means so much. Like, she's the best. She's awesome, so.
I'm just going to step in and correct Maddie. She does a little bit more than throw the ball up there. She's one of the best setters in the country. So
Texas is in the next quarterfinal game. Do you want to see them, or do you want to change it up and see someone different?
I mean, it would be nice to play them again, but I mean, I just know like whoever we play, we just try to play like us, just continue to play like us regardless on who's on the other side of that. So if it's them, just the same thing happens. If it's who else is it supposed to be? Ole Miss. Then yeah, same thing. We just try to keep it consistent.
I will say this: I think we're one of the best 4 teams in the country, and we'd like to have a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And I think the only way that we do that is by proving that we're one of the 4 best teams in the country. So, personally, I'm hoping not. This is going to be a match, and I think if you look at the last time Ole Miss played Texas, the first set was deuce, and I think 37-35, and that probably should have been pushed to 5 when they were at Ole Miss. So it's going to be a battle, but just in terms of us proving ourselves to the NCAA committee, like I'd love to see Texas and I'd love to see Kentucky.
Coach, can you touch a little bit about the atmosphere here and having this new phase of the season this year?
Yeah, I was going to talk about it in my opening statement. I just thought I got a little long, but I think I just want to give, credit to the SEC for putting on an amazing event. I think the little touches, like the hallway when you walk in and having every logo in there, to the floor, to the way they're filling up the stands right now. I think it's, an amazing venue here in Enmarket. But I think the entire event's been first class. So I think this is an amazing thing. I'm hoping that we get viewership on ESPN and people are tuning into some really good volleyball across the 5 days that we're here.
Got time for one more?
Kind of building off of that, what kind of challenge does this style of tournament, making its return to the conference present for you, having to prepare for all these different opponents? I know a lot of fans probably weren't expecting to see Vanderbilt in this round. So kind of what challenge does that present for you as a coach?
For me, it's back where I started from. And if you go back to the Olympics or back to the national team setting, you're playing 5 matches in 5 nights, and you don't know exactly who you're going to play. And sometimes there's a pool, and then it kicks into playoffs. And so I feel like I'm in my element right now. And for me, I go to bed early. My staff does the work at night, and then I wake up early in the morning and try to prep everything that we're going to have tomorrow. So for me, it's not a challenge. It's almost like back to normal of what I used to do. So I'm just going to give credit to this group of athletes. I think the entire season we've done a really good job of making small tweaks to what we do to really go beat an opponent, and you see that with the fact that we have the lowest opponent hitting efficiency in the conference right now. I don't know where we are in the country, but the SEC is pretty dang good. So I think it's a credit to these guys also. And I trust, and some of it's the fact that we're veteran, but I trust them to make a small change very, very quickly, whether it be the 40 minutes we have at practice or just talking about it.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations. Everyone, thank you for joining us here for the Allstate Southeastern Conference Volleyball Tournament here at Inmarket Arena in Savannah, Georgia. We're joined by Vanderbilt Commodores head coach Anders Nelson, along with student athletes Mia Sorensen and Jackie Moore. Coach Nelson will begin with an opening statement. After that, if you have questions, please raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. Coach?
Yeah, I think the end of the third set was pretty indicative of this team. and this team's ability to keep fighting, even when maybe it doesn't seem like we're still in it or seem like we still have hope. And there was a point in this season where I think we were sitting at 1-11 in conference play, and it was rough. And I think we played about 500 volleyball after that point, and we made a conscious decision as a group that we were going to act differently and play differently and be completely consumed by the process. And what it got us was one of the most special weeks that this team had together. And like I told them in the locker room, we've talked all year about what is Team One's legacy going to be. We're the very first team in program history. So what are we going to be remembered for? And what a cool thing to be remembered for now, this tournament and our run. And we left some chances out there today. There's no doubt that we could have, pushed that match much longer and potentially won that match. So that'll sting. But I think as time passes, we'll just be so proud of who we became and how we played this week. And like I said, this is the legacy we created.
Thank you. We'll open it up to questions now. Start here.
Hi, Coach. Y'all went on a 7-0 run to almost push it to a fourth set. What does that mean when setting the standard for the next few teams and going forward as the program continues to grow in its historic first season?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that in the moment because we've done it a couple times this year, and wouldn't it be cool if that could become a hallmark of Vanderbilt volleyball? Like they're always in it no matter what, and this team showed that. And we're the 15 seed coming in. I don't think people expected us to be sitting here on a Sunday. So even right there, yeah, I would love for that to be the thing that is Vanderbilt volleyball is like they're going to keep fighting no matter what and keep scratching and clawing no matter what.
All right, we'll go over here.
And for me and Jackie, what have the past 3 days in this run been like for y'all? And kind of when you look back on this team and this run, what are you gonna think of?
The past weekend has been amazing for the team. I think towards the 3 weeks ago we came up with Mission Savannah, which Anders just talked about, and I think this weekend was a culmination of Mission Savannah, even though we lost today. And I think my little brother, he sent me a text message today, telling me good luck for the game, and he said that our team is going to make history. And I think maybe he was thinking about us winning, but even though we lost, I know our team still made history because generations from now, they're going to remember this moment and how we fought to the very end, even though we didn't get the outcomes that we wanted. We stayed true to our mission, which was being process-oriented. So that's going to be what's written in the history books.
Coach, similar question for you, I guess. When you look back on this run, what are you going to think of?
I think one of the things that's special about this group is just how everybody who is a part of Team One, and I'm talking staff, support staff, players, whether it's a starting player or somebody who maybe has to, come off the bench, everybody grew so much this year and changed so much this year and learned so much this year. And I'm no different. And I feel like this week was a really good lesson for me on the best way to motivate a team over the long season and over a long season. And I think I'll just remember that we never quit. And I'll remember that this team believed they could win these matches. And we're hurt right now because we believed we could win today, 100%. And I'll remember that about this team. And like I said, there were some really tough moments for this group earlier on. So to crawl out of it, that's a really, just something you'll be really proud of.
Over here.
Jackie and Mia, can you talk about the service pressure that you guys put on Texas A&M?
I think everyone that went back to the line today knew that we had to get them out of system and apply the service pressure, and they did that really confidently, so I'm really proud of everyone on the team.
Anything else? Thank y'all.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more.
I just thought of another question. Since this was the first Vanderbilt team in 45 years, what were expectations going into the season that made y'all reach for the stars, but also let's be realistic about this?
Yeah, we set the goal to play postseason volleyball at the beginning of the year because we wanted to set the standard that's what Vanderbilt volleyball does every year. And I've had people almost chuckle at me when I said that because we were in the first year of our existence, but we didn't care. We believe that. I still believe to this day that there was enough talent on this team to make the NCAA tournament. And while we won't, it's not for lack of effort. It's not for lack of passion. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce, your way. And we learned a lot of lessons that I know will propel this program into postseason, in the future.
All right. Thank y'all. We appreciate it. Congratulations on a great season.